a little over 4 months ago, I made a video about Game Informer and a new magazine subscription. It was actually pretty refreshing to see that happen, and I was like, okay, awesome. This is something I could be interested in, and something that I wanted to do. But apparently, the magazine is no more. It's dead now. Even the digital format of the magazine is gone, and I'm not necessarily surprised, but I am surprised at how fast it happened. I mean, like I said, it was just like 4 or 5 months ago that it happened, that they started a new thing and then it's gone. So let's talk about this and give you my thoughts and opinions, and let's just get into it. If this is your first time here, welcome. Thank you for stopping by to the channel. If you found this channel through your recommendations, please consider subscribing. Also, like, share the videos, and give me some feedback in the comment section if you find any of this content interesting. I really appreciate it. We're over 700 subs, trying to get to 1,000, and the only way that will happen is because of you guys' interaction, and I thank you for that. Well, after I think I made the video, I think it was like March, late March of this year, where I talked about Game Informer coming out with their new subscription. I think it was like for 2 years, it was like $34.99. It was actually a pretty good deal, and I was really thinking about getting to it. It slipped my mind. I never did subscribe to it, and I'm probably happy that I didn't, because I would have probably did the 2 years. And after four, maybe 3 or 4 magazines, I would have been out of a subscription and some money. So therefore, uh, I'm kind of happy for that, but I'm not happy that this is gone, because this could be the end of like real good, game journalism. To be honest, we got all these issues out right now with all of these websites or whatever the case may be. But I do believe that Game Informer was one of the ones that actually did a good job, putting games out there in that format. And if you grew up like I did, where you had the EGMs of the world, the Game Pro magazines, the Nintendo Power magazines, what was the other one? I think Sega has a magazine. I didn't even know this. Sega had a magazine for the Saturn in Japan, and I just happened to get. Well, I'm not gonna go. That's too far off topic. Nevertheless, Game Informer was one of those magazines that actually was pretty cool, and I used to get it like religiously, and I kind of forgot about it until I made the video that they was doing a new subscription. Cool. 4 or 5 months later, they're done, and I'm gonna put the link down in the description to the Variety website where the article is. And basically, they're shutting down after 33 years. They did a memo on, I think they did it on Twitter as well, about the final level. That was the last memorandum that they put out. And the way I look at it, GameStop, pretty much, I'm not gonna say they dropped the ball, but I can pretty much point this to GameStop. This was GameStop's magazine. It's basically one of the best things that came out of GameStop, in like forever, because GameStop in their format of buying games, selling games to you, and you can find some games in GameStop, no doubt, but their practices was kind of weird in how they treated their customers, not just the customers, but their employees, mostly their employees, and it was pretty crazy. So outside of that, GameStop did have a magazine called the Game Informer magazine, and it was a really good magazine. It was picked up by GameStop in 2001. I mean, in 2000, and it just took off, because I think it was on the FuncoLand at first or something like that. But it was all the way up, 2000. I mean, it was popping. It was really good, and they were putting out 7 or 8 million copies, in 2011, and it went down a little bit by in 2017. It went down to 7 million, which is still pretty good for a magazine. Now, mind you, this magazine, you pretty much got it for free if you had the Power Up Reward Members card. So who's actually paying for it? I mean, are you really paying for it if you had a membership with GameStop? I don't really know, because you don't know how money circulates like that. But they had up to 7 million, and by 2019, they laid off half of their staff, so that was kind of crazy. And, so that's when, that was the beginning of the end. I mean, 5 years ago, they laid off half of the staff. In 2020, the editor in chief, Andy McNamara, left the company, and then his replacement came, and, it was pretty much, done. And then they pretty much His replacement of McNamara came Andrew Reiner in 2022, and then Matt Miller left as well. Was the current he was the current editor in chief before the closure. So all the stuff was going on, and I will say this: even the fact that they closed the physical side of things was one thing, because I was like, okay, you're not going to get a physical magazine; they're all going to be in digital format. And I think it was like that at one point until they made that new subscription base where you could get a physical magazine. I think that was the case, because I know it was all digital at one point. Now that even the digital part is going, so the entire situation is done. And I'm sitting here thinking like, man, one of the last places that had pretty decent, magazines or pretty decent journalism, in my opinion, is gone now. I mean, there's some places out here who still do it. Don't get me wrong, but every time you turn around, you look, it's always some negative stuff coming from Kotaku or some of these other places, and you basically just get your information off of what you see on social media, as long as you know where to go to look at certain things, because now it's kind of like all over the place. But nevertheless, this sucks. I'm not gonna lie, because even though I necessarily wasn't subscribed to the physical side of things, I still got the digital stuff. I still got the digital format that came to me, because I am, a plus member for GameStop. I still got the Power Up Plus card and everything, and I still get them in a digital format. But yeah, now you just can't even get them anymore at all. So I'm like, all right, this is not cool. But what can you do? Ooh, excuse me. What can you do at the end of the day? It's just a situation where we are now getting our information on the fly through social media. I mean, that's basically what it is now. And when you have, companies that are just behind the times, because, nowadays, even if you go to school, like these kids are going to school now, some of them, they don't even have books, in general. They have all this stuff on a tablet or a laptop, or, all this stuff comes, so it's all digital now. So I'm not really surprised about that. But when they actually said that they're getting rid of the digital stuff too, I'm like, man, not that right there kind of threw me for a loop a little bit. So I was like, wow, I don't know what to think about that, but it was a good run. I don't know if they will ever come back, because now it's social media and the power of information and the way it moves happens so fast. I don't even know if there's a really good place for a Game Informer. I mean, you see like these other article based websites who do gaming, they're kind of like out of the loop too, because they're reacting to what they see on social media, because you can get the release dates, you can get updates on games, you can get all type of stuff that pertain to video games on Twitter, on Facebook, on TikTok. You can get all this stuff so fast, you probably don't even need any of this stuff. But I remember the days when you had the Nintendo Powers, the EGMs, the Game Pro magazines. I mean, those were great times. I remember taking them to school and showing my friends, new games that we had. That was coming out that we can get, and hopefully our parents will buy them. And it always made it a good time on the on the playground, when we didn't want to play all throughout the whole time on the playground. We used to take our magazines out there and talk, or in the lunch table, we would go and look at the stuff during lunch, or in the middle of class when we're not doing anything. So those memories I always have. Unfortunately, I don't think my son or other kids will, they're not going to be able to experience that. But hey, it's a different time. The people before me probably thought that we was going to miss out because the electric, or the battery powered choo choo train was not, hooked up anymore. Ain't nobody play with those, or the race car track. Everybody thought that we was missing out, but we got video games and stuff now, and that look like a industry that's not going to die off like the magazine corporations or whatever. But let me know what you guys think. I can ramble all day about this, but hopefully you guys really enjoyed this video. If you made it this far, I really appreciate it. Let me know what you guys think. How do you feel about Game Informer as well? Like I said, man, it was fun, but all things come to an end, and we'll move on to the next thing. Still able to get information fast through the internet, and that's probably one of the reasons why this is gone. I mean, GameStop, and with his own problems, possibly was the issue as well, but we know how information travels now. So I'm gonna get up out of here. I'll see you guys on the next one. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this. I'll see you then. All right, y'all. I'm out. Peace.